And I wanted to start just with the fact that you're going to see DA again on Sunday.
Am I?
Probably maybe yeah. But what did he, I guess, in his time here? What do you kind of remember, just like what his impact was for this franchise?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he won a Super Bowl here. Yeah, I mean, he hell of a defensive coordinator. Did a lot for the organization. And time ended. He's in Chicago now, so yeah.
What have you seen from what this Bears defense has done? I know it's still early for him. I mean, it seems like they're maybe starting to figure things out, especially if you look at that Monday night game and what they were able to do against Washington.
Yeah. I mean, I've been seeing that defense for my whole career, honestly. So just seeing a lot of things that he was doing here that, those guys are starting to kind of buy into and believe, and they're starting to execute it. So, they're having some production over there, so we just got to be sound in what we're doing. Luckily, like me, Eric, Caesar, we've seen it. So I think it helps a little bit that we've seen it. But again, we still got to play the game, and we got to execute on our end.
Alvin, have you seen like a mentality shift for Kendre now? He's just been able to stay healthy, stay on the field, and just get out there and play.
Yeah, I mean, it's just confidence, and confidence that comes with reps. It comes with success, and he's having some success, and I think it starts to get fun when you can have success consistently and get to kind of just play some more, open up your game. So he's doing well.
Usually going up against Dennis Adams' defense in the games situation.
I did it for 8 years in camp, the OTAs, all that. So it'll be a little bit different. Obviously going against them in a real game situation. But like I said, a lot of experience with it, seen it. So just gotta go out and execute.
When you guys are looking at what you do offensively this year, it's just there's a lot of good. It just seems like whether it's red zone, third down, it's just like it's not all kind of clicking. How do you view that as a whole?
Just view it as an offense that still has to find its identity all the way. I don't think we have it all the way yet. Like you said, there's some things that we've been doing good, and then there's things where it's like, man, we got to figure it out to get to where we want to be at. So, at times it's frustrating because, I think we got talent. I think we got a lot of guys that want to do the right things, and sometimes the execution isn't there. And then I don't know. You got to talk to Kevin about how he feels about it, but I think we got more. So it's part of just growing and trying to evolve and gel and mesh together as often.
Is it like one of those things that you think could just like click into place? I don't know if it's
I don't believe it just like happenstance. I think it's a conscious effort. So all of us have to be, conscious enough and have the awareness within ourselves to basically understand that these plays don't just happen on their own. We gotta be the ones putting forth the effort to get them executed and bring them to life. That's when you have the production. That's when you turn on the film and you're like, okay, we're rolling. So that's what we're trying to get to.
In that same vein, is it important not to lose confidence and almost be like, hey, it's eventually.
Yeah. You can't lose confidence. You gotta stick to the script. You gotta come in every week and roll your sleeves up and go to work and keep the process, the focus on everything. And this game, like you have bad days, you have good days, and you got to take the good with the bad. You got to be, real enough with yourself to be honest about, the bad days and understand that you can celebrate the good days, but just as quick as you have a good day, you can have a bad day. So it's all about just keeping the process the same, understanding that you have to work for what you get in this league. None is given to you. So alluding back to what you say, it's not just gonna click. We gotta be the ones that make it. We gotta click it into play.
How much of a good sign is it though that you guys are starting to give the explosive play? You have a big touchdown against the Giants, and then the second play of the game on Sunday, that big back play.
That's 2 plays. That's just 2. We need more. But like I said, we got players. We got players that can make the plays. We just got to find those type of plays on a more consistent basis.
Alvin, as the trade deadline approaches, a lot of people like to link their name to whatever team needs a running back.
Yeah.
I know you don't go searching for it, but when people tell you about those reports or speculation, what's your reaction?
I don't watch too much football, so I don't know who need a running back, who don't need a running back. But I mean, it's been like that for years.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is. I'm just focused on what I'm doing. I don't really think about it too much. I don't even know what day is the deadline.
November 4th.
Oh yeah. Well, now y'all just taught me something. I don't know. It is what it is.
There was, you've been pretty consistent telling us this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
There was a report last week that Mickey talked to you about that.
Yeah, I don't know where that. We talked about it, and we was like, we was looking at each other like little Spider-Man meme. Like, did you say something? Did I say something? Because I don't know where that came from. But I think I've been vocal enough that that I don't know where that came from. But I don't want to go anywhere, and I've said it countless times. Y'all know that. I think everybody knows that. The fan base knows that. And at the end of the day, it's business, So, I don't go upstairs, and I don't have an office upstairs.
Yeah.
I got an office in Charlotte at NASCAR, but I don't got an office upstairs, so I don't really sit in those meetings, and I don't really know what happens up there. I just gotta, keep my head down and, I don't know. If I was a GM, I guess I would go to the player and be like, "Hey, we're trading you, just so you know." So if Mickey come downstairs and say that, then I'm gonna drink a pina colada.
Is there a conversation that happens in the locker room though? Obviously 1 and 5, you get to the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Or is that just something you can't think about?
Nah, I don't think. We don't really think about it. I think, maybe me and Cam had conversations about it, but it's more. It's not like, damn, you think you're getting traded, or damn, you think you're getting traded. It's more like it's one of those things where it happens. Like, damn, trade deadline coming up, and historically here, we haven't really been transaction heavy before the deadline a lot. So it never really been something on my mind. It's like we just playing football. It's like November, they talk about the trade deadline, and then that passes, and then we look up and it's December. It's like, all right, whatever. So, if I get traded, man, y'all not gonna be able to talk to me no more, man.
We had Drew Brees on early in the week, and he was asked about it. And he said one thing that he looks at is I'll never undersell the value of leadership in the locker room.
Yeah.
Where do you see that? Because I think people just throw trades out there, and then they ignore these are team leaders. These are
it's like it's fabric. It's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that are what would I call it? Priceless, in the locker room. I think everybody sits at home and they play like GM or owner, and they're like, well, you got to do this. So I don't care if anybody wants anything, if anybody's willing to give anything for any of these players, you trade them, we're rebuilding, blah 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 blah. And I just sit and laugh because I'm like, man, it's so much more that goes into this whole thing that you just see on Sunday. A lot of people just look at Sunday, and there's so much more that goes into it. So, you say, and I'm gonna say a hypothetical, but I'm not gonna give a name. You hypothetically trade one of these guys in here that mean a lot to the city or mean a lot to this team over the years, and then you kind of you now you got to fill a hole, and say you get picks. You got to wait a year. You got to wait till the draft comes around to pick something. Then you pick somebody, and you got to hope that guy's. If you're picking to replace that person, or you're just picking, if you got to pick to get somebody else, you got to hope that pick turns out to be something, because everybody always said, when all this stuff happens, everybody always says oh well, we traded this guy and we ended up getting this person, but we should have just kept that person because this pick didn't end up being shit. So it's so much that goes into it, and that's why I stay away from it. I try not to look too deep into it, but I do know that there's a lot that goes into making the team, building the team, and then the pivotal pieces of the locker room that as an owner, GM, there's decisions that you got to make, and you got to live with them and be able to sleep with them. So that's not my job. I play football. I'm not on the ownership side yet, or probably won't ever be, but